Yo, what's up, everybody? Episode 14 of the NY Yankee Dad podcast is brought to you by your Bronx dentist. Come and meet Dr. Ebby and his team at two convenient locations in the Throgs Neck and Norwood sections of the Bronx. Schedule your appointment today at yourbronxdentist.com. So, 1.5 days away from opening day. First and foremost, before we get started, the tragic news about the Gardner family. Brett Gardner, unfortunately, lost his youngest son, Miller, in a tragic accident. We don't really know the details about it. Doesn't really matter. Just to even try to fathom what they're going through, it's just very, terrible situation. Unfortunate news to hear about one of especially a fan favorite, Brett Gardner. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the Gardner family, and just send in our condolences to them. But terrible news. Nothing really much to say about it. But just wanted to you know send our love out there to the Gardner family with the unfortunate news. But to get back into baseball. We are 1.5 days away from opening day, so the long off season, um, it's over. As you know, with one more night tomorrow of you know uneventful baseball counting. So one last night of that. I know I know a lot of people, a lot of you guys out there are into the March Madness college basketball, but some of us are not. And this is pretty much what we wait for. It's opening day. It's a national holiday. It brings you back to those times when you were a kid, and when you have children, you see the excitement of everyone. Opening day. It's no matter what the situation, every team has a chance. Everyone's record is 0-0. It's the new beginning, the new year, and it's baseball. Baseball's back, and just it feels like the summer's coming. The weather's going to be warming up. School will be coming to an end for the kids in a few months. Got some time to go for that, but it's uh, it's that new beginning of getting into those summer months, and just baseball being back. It's just what I mean, for me, speaking for myself, it's just what it's all about. Besides, you have your families and stuff, but baseball, obviously, you guys know me by now. It becomes that thing where it's your number one hobby, and you're just happy and you're giddy, and it just you know gets you all ready to go that baseball is going to be back. And yeah, the Yankees got injuries, but there's a lot of things to be excited about here with this ball club, and just gazing over the lineup. Now there is a few questions and concerns that we've had, and Yankee fans have had throughout the offseason. And yeah, they could have been more aggressive with going here or there. Speaking, like third base, for instance, a lot of people would have, including myself, would have liked maybe a different first baseman, or for the Yankees to go a different route after who signed with the other team across town. And yeah, so they brought in some new faces here, new faces in the lineup that some pretty good pedigree, pretty solid pedigree of crop of players that came in: Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, the former National League MVPs. And with those two guys coming in, we've kind of have now, with Booney was on his spot with Talking Yanks today, and he was talking about how he confirmed, I should say, that Austin Wells is going to be batting leadoff on opening day. And he was dipping into the lineup scenario a little bit, that kind of talked about how it could be Jason Dominguez, could move into that slot at some point. Even Cody Bellinger, but he said the skipper was saying how he had about 6 or 7 guys that he kind of you know put together of who he thought could be batting leadoff. So little different approach. It's going to be the first time in Yankee history that a catcher is going to be batting leadoff now. Um, little different, definitely a different look. We joked around. We joked around. Past episodes. Even in the past, if you heard me, we were recently on BD4 RJ's podcast, and we even dived into it a little bit, talking about the different. It's a different look type of lineup now. Austin Wells is one of those players. He gets on base. One of the Yankees that really gets on base at a high clip. And Aaron Boone was talking about today how it's not like that old school, the old school baseball mentality where the fastest guy has to lead off. It's not really like that anymore. A little bit different. They talked about how even Paul Goldschmidt could bat against lead off against lefties. Now Thursday opening day, should be a national holiday in my opinion. But Thursday being opening day, as we've talked about, it is only one game of 162. The lineup, the 26-man roster that we're going to see, not only for the Yankees, for every team, every team throughout the league, but here, especially for the Yankees, the lineup, the roster we're going to see, that's going to change. It's going to change so many different times throughout the season. But the emphasis of who's going to be coming up, with the ball club, and with all the injuries the Yankees have had, we kind of know now, what the scenario is going to be. A lot of those questions that we have is is there's still that lack of right-handed pop. A lot of the fan base, let everyone talking about Nolan Arenado. It doesn't seem like that's really much of a possibility, but the lack of right-handed pop. Is there enough pitching depth? I mean, with Garrett Cole going down with the Tommy John surgery, Luis Heel with the lat injury doesn't help. Clark Schmidt being behind schedule that definitely doesn't help. And you see it puts the Yankees in a scenario where Carlos Rodon, opening day starter, Max Fried will be going game 2. And game 3, it's starting to it's slated out. It looks like it's going to be Marcus Stroman. Going to have Will Warren in the rotation. He most likely he had the start today against the Miami Marlins in that final tune-up exhibition. Um, and Willie, he's been struggling, a little bit. His past few outings, you've seen him, the spring training, the runs of he came out really strong in his first few starts. And Carlos Carrasco, the non-roster invitee, the former power pitcher, looked like to really be reinventing himself here. And with drastic times call for drastic measures. I mean, the Yankee rotation, pretty much has been decimated, and it even seems with the bullpen that Ian Hamilton may be a little bit behind schedule also. But bullpen shaping out, bullpen shaped out pretty nice. We know, newly acquired closer Devin Williams, Luke Weaver is going to be setting up Fernando Cruz, newly acquired from the Reds, and that Jose Trevino deal. That split is going to be really fun. Ignore the big high ERA in spring. Tim Hill, the lefty's back. Another lefty Yankees brought in, Ryan Yarborough, formerly of the Blue Jays and the Rays, really gave the Yankees fits back in his Rays days. He was part of that opener craze when it first started. He was one of those guys that would eat the innings. He would have like 3 to 4 innings after the start. And that's what Ryan Yarbrough is. And innings, one of those guys, innings eater, lefty. He comes over, he throws like crossbody. Kind of comes over crossbody as an unorthodox 3/4 type of drop, similar to Tim Hill, but it's a little different how he throws a crossbody and his fastball. He throws like 83 to 86 miles an hour. Very, very different type of look. Um, there is, some concerns here and there. The Yankees bullpen don't really have that hard, flamethrower, more of a, finesse pitcher approach. But Ryan Yarbrough definitely going to bring a different type of look, to the Yankees. Could he, be a spot starter, innings eater out of the bullpen? But the left-hander will definitely fit in, with this bullpen. And let's be real here, Yankees bullpen, pretty much the track record always says, that the guys that they pluck, and put into this bullpen usually do work out. I mean, look at the injured Jake Cousins and Tim Hill. They came from the Chicago White Sox, the historically worst team ever last year. They were two struggling relievers on that White Sox team, and they came to the Yankees and flourished. So let's see what happens. But there really, really is a concern, with the Yankees' lack of depth here. I mean, makes you wonder, one injury away from catastrophe. And, this Yankee ball club, to me, it's it seems like they're one of those teams. They match their record from last year? Possible. You never know. I mean, the games, are starting, in a few days now, and you can't, you can predict it, but it's, pretty unpredictable. And to come out and say that the Yankees, they're going to win, 90 games, they're going to win 86 games. It's going to be around that range, but this, the American League East, with the way it's shaping out now, with you know our injuries, all the other injuries, it's very possible that all the American League teams could have you know at least 80 wins apiece. Just could work out that way. I mean, it's the Blue Jays. They were in the high 70s last year winning, but with a few of their additions, Anthony Santander, Jeff Hoffman, you know, um, could the Orioles, even with some of their injuries, Gunnar Henderson starting on the shelf, Grayson Rodriguez, the Red Sox have some pitching problems of their own, with Brian Bayo and Cutter Crawford, just to name a few of them, being out, and not as catastrophic as we've said before as Garrett Cole, but teams got to plug away, and just like last year, for the Yankees when Luis Heel stepped up, someone has to step up, and God willing, all goes well. With Luis Heel's rehab with the lat strain, he comes back, maybe June, hopefully around June, July-ish, and that's like a trade acquisition right there. I mean, we don't know when Giancarlo is going to be coming back. The original timetable for his return was around Memorial Day, but haven't really heard much more of that from that perspective. When he's going to be coming back, he hasn't really been. We haven't seen him, heard him doing anything baseball activity related. So that's where Ben Rice comes in now, of taking over the primary DH duties, and he's been mashing the ball. And like we've said, you take spring training, the stats, with a grain of salt. I was listening to Joel Sherman earlier, and he talked about how a scout told him, how spring training is an illusion, that don't let it fool you. And we've seen that in the past both ways, of guys really balling out in spring, and not really anything coming to fruition in the regular season when the games count. And we said it could be the other ways around, but in the Yankees case this season alone, two veterans pretty much, you know, from what we know, earn their way onto the roster. That's Carlos Carrasco and as of right now, barring any other move from what we've been told. But there hasn't really been any move yet from the Yankees. So as far as we know, Pablo Reyes, the utility man, is going to be one of those bench guys. So for the Yankees lineup for the bench, we know J.C. Escara is going to be the backup catcher. We know Trent Grisham is going to be the fourth outfielder. It's looking like the non-roster invitee Pablo Reyes, who had a really nice spring, had a really nice. He had that home run to the opposite field yesterday against the Mets in Port St. Lucie, and he's off AJ Minter. He's just been hitting lefties, and the Yankees are really in desperate need of some kind of right-handed pop. Could that be Pablo Reyes? The track record tells you otherwise, but you know what? Right now, he's here. He's a non-roster invite. He kind of showed what kind of value that he has to the ball club. He can play different positions. And Booney, you hear Boone talking up about him. So this could be a case now where no moves are made, and in order for a way for the Yankees not to lose a Pablo Reyes, in order for them not to lose him, because you could lose him since he's a non-roster invite, with the need the way it is right now, and the case that he made for himself, he can kind of, the Yankees could put him on the roster as a bench piece. Now, does that mean that Pablo Reyes is going to be on the bench the whole season? Maybe, maybe not. But as we know, especially on the pitching side in the bullpen, the Yankees, they call it the Scranton shuttle. The guys come up and down. There's a few spots that are on the team that are always interchangeable, and we've seen how things work. But hey, Pablo Reyes has did his thing. He had a nice spring. I mean, we talk about spring, taking it with a grain of salt, but he had a nice spring. The guy's a professional. The Yankees need a right-hand hitter right now. No one's knocking on the door throwing, an all-star caliber third baseman, outfield, you name it, whatever position, right-handed hitter. No one's doing the Yankees no favors. And Pablo Reyes is showed out in spring training, put him on the team. He's on the bench. Oswald Peraza, he has no options left. I mean, former top prospect. It doesn't seem like the Yankees are talking very much highly about him, but he has no options. If the Yankees get rid of him, they lose him. And just I look at it as all those years, what came to this now, they could have traded him away at one point. Not saying they could have. When it comes down to you losing a guy, if they take him off the roster and they lose him, and just you name your team claims him, and you're losing him for nothing. I look at it as that's someone that they obviously didn't have in the long term plans, and it was almost like a missed trade opportunity. But as of right now, out of the four bench spots, Oswald Peraza could be one of those guys. He just, he hasn't. I'm kind of hard on him a little bit, but he hasn't really been showing anything with the bat. We know he can field, but with the bat, there hasn't really been any pop. A lot of ground balls, and it's kind of unfortunate how top prospect like that. But we have kind of seen this before. It's just I can't see them bringing the team up the way it is now. I think there is going to be some kind of outside trade for something. There's going to be something not going to be something eye popping, but I just you know I don't see the team the way it is now going. Coming to opening day the way it is, but the lineup itself is looking good. It's going to be a different type of look. Um, the best way to say it is I don't think the offense is going to be the Yankees' problem this year. It's really pretty much pitching depth, but Austin Wells, as we know, is going to be leading off. Judge, the captain, going to be in right field. We're going to see him in right field and DHing, but right field most nights, most days. He's gonna be batting second this year, back in the two hole, something that we wanted last year, but it never happened. But Judgy back in the two hole. Belly's gonna be batting third for now. Goldschmidt at first base batting cleanup, and could he that cleanup and leadoff spot be interchangeable against lefties? Could Goldschmidt be batting lead off. Boone was saying it's a strong possibility. We'll find out. But game two, Nestor versus Max Fried on Saturday. Two things. Booney did say that Austin Wells will most likely. This was on the the Talking Yanks episode with Booney. He was saying Boone was saying how Austin Wells is probably going to be batting leadoff Saturday, and also we're going to be going to the game Saturday, taking the girls to their first game in the right field bleachers with the bleacher creatures. So that's going to be real fun. Looking forward to that. Weather's supposed to be nice, and get to see Max Fried's debut and Nestor, and just be interesting to see what the lineup's going to look like against the lefty because as we were saying, Wells batting leadoff. Most likely, this is according to roster resource Fangraphs. They have Austin Wells catching, batting leadoff, Aaron Judge in right field batting second, Cody Bellinger center field batting third, Paul Goldschmidt cleanup, Jazz Chisholm at the Keystone second base batting fifth, Anthony Volpe at shortstop batting sixth, the Martian Jason Dominguez batting seventh and left, Ben Rice DH and batting eighth, and Oswaldo Cabrera at third base batting ninth. So that's according to roster resource and a bench of J.C. Escara, Oswald Peraza, Pablo Reyes, and Trent Grisham. And the guys I've been reading off here. The bullpen's shaping out pretty nice. We know Devin Williams is the closer. Luke Weaver's the setup man, along with Fernando Cruz. Tim Hill is back. Mark Leiter Jr. been looking good. That split has been looking really nice. Yohendris Gomez kind of looking like he's going to be making the team, and Ryan Yarbrough, newly acquired Ryan Yarbrough, is going to be making the ball club, which it leaves. Roster Resource had Yeri De Los Santos as the one of the eight arms in the bullpen. Now he's right now he's a possibility. Could be the Yankees haven't announced the full roster yet. We know there's things that we know. Wells gonna be batting leadoff. Escara is the backup catcher. Ben Rice is going to be DHing most nights. With the bullpen, there's the one spot that's pretty much available. The projection here is Yeri De Los Santos. Could it be someone from the outside come in? Could it be one of the guys on the 40-man roster? We don't know yet. Right now, it listed as Yeri De Los Santos. We'll find out soon. Within the next day or so. I think prediction wise, it's March 25th right now. So opening day is Thursday. It could be, maybe. I mean, by this time tomorrow, the roster will probably be out set. There may be something, tomorrow morning, afternoon, but time will tell. If it is Yeri De Los Santos, like we said, it's gonna be one of those situations where there's gonna be, a lot of guys up and down, especially early in the season. Pitchers not built up yet, to full capacity. Even the Yankees, they're not. I believe Rodon and Fried are only going to be about 75, 80 pitches themselves. So the guys in the bullpen are going to have to get it cranking a little bit. Early in the season, guys aren't going to be going deep, but this Yankee team, just to be kind of be real here. I mean, I don't really think they're going to have a problem. Like we said, we're not going to have a problem with the offense. They are going to find ways to score runs. It's a different, it's going to be a different type of look team. I think, you're going to have some guys running more. We talked about, there's about 3-4 guys on the team right now that could hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases. So, not going to be a problem, getting across home plate, scoring some runs here. It's mainly the depth of the pitching and, specifically the starters. Just with the three injuries of our three of our big horses, Cole, Heel, and Schmidt. Schmidt will be coming back. He's gonna be coming back He's pretty much just missing the start. He's projected right now for the sixth game of the season against the Diamondbacks. Could that be the case? We'll see. We're almost there, but the roster really shaping, somewhat shaping out. We have the two bench spots and the bullpen spot. I mean, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with Oswald Peraza. Just it doesn't really, it seems like they're not really raving about him. They're not really talking about him like he's, they kind of sound like Pablo Reyes is getting, talked about in a little bit of higher regard than Oswald Peraza. But just a shame to lose if they do lose him, to lose him like that, just kind of, with no options left, what they could have done with it. But we're almost here at opening day now. No more speculating. No more talking about moves that should have been made, you know, moves that could have been made. This is what the ball club looks like today, right now. Could it look a little bit different tomorrow? We'll find out. But right now, this is what it is looking like. And you know what? When you break it down, I mean, Austin Wells, you have the homegrown talent alone that the Yankees have here. When you're looking at a lineup of Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, Ben Rice, Oswaldo Cabrera. These, those are all homegrown guys and have had, somewhat of a nice, pedigree, throughout the minor leagues. That it's nice to see that the Yankees are calling up homegrown talent. You know what? Let's see what these guys got. There is some, key injuries to some key players, but it's time for the the kids, the homegrown kids to step up and see what they got. And same thing goes for Will Warren. We know what he did last year when he was thrown into the fire. Could he take that next step? When Clark, can stay healthy, can get back healthy. Can he take that next step? We're at that point now where the Yankees kind of need them to do that. And how much are they going to be getting out of Carlos Carrasco? How he pitched nice this spring, kind of reinventing himself, but how long is it going to last? Like we said, no more speculating. We're going to find out. Um, just looking forward to Thursday. The game's actually counting. So let me know what you guys think. What the Yankees, how this year is going to play out. If I had to give you guys a number for what I think, the type of win, how many wins the Yankees are looking at that right now. Um, Probably looking at, I would say, an 88 win ball club, 88 to 90 wins right now, the way they're configured without, speculating and thinking about who's going to be, who could be brought in here, who will be brought in, because, as we talked about, if they are in contention when it comes to the time of the trade deadline, in July 31st, when it comes to that date, if the Yankees are in it, and the AL East, the way we were talking about how it's shaping out, they're going to be in it. But probably there could be 3, 4 teams from this division with the new wild card, the new wild card setup that could make the postseason. But it's going to be a it's going to be a long ride. Definitely going to be a roller coaster. And here on the podcast, we're going to plan on doing every series. It's not going to be the same reactions for every game like we did last year over on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I'll still be doing those, and not but we're going to be doing the podcast. The plan right now is going to be doing the podcast after every series. We've been doing like the once a week thing here, but the plan right now is after every series we'll do break it down, talk about it, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think about the ball club this year. What are you thinking? You excited? Baseball starting. Who do you think is going to be the standout from this team? Who do you want the Yankees to go out and get? who do you think would be a good fit for this team, and do you want to see certain guys get called up from the minors? I think we are going to see, maybe one or two guys work their way up through the system, if all goes well. But it's getting to the point where certain guys down in the minors maybe could be ready. So we'll see how the season shakes out, because I can assure you that the lineup we're looking at on Thursday, the roster that comes out when they announce their names and they go on the foul line on Thursday, are not going to be the same guys. Majority of them are going to be the same, but the team, through the roster shuffle, just through the everyday grind, the grind of 162, that roster is going to change. But a day and a half now. Thursday, the games will count, and we're definitely looking forward to it. So I'll talk to you guys. Have a good night. God bless. And as always, go Yankees. I'll talk to you.